shocking case in Scotland where a male rapist who raped 2 women, before he comes to trial, suddenly decides to transition to be supposedly a woman. He gets convicted as a woman and then gets sent, first of all, to a woman's prison where there will be other women for him to attack. And his ex-wife says, well, this is ridiculous. He's just doing this because he wants the soft option of being in a women's prison. He's now been sent back to a male prison, and therefore we have to assume is now being categorised as male. But this shows the problem of limitless gender self-identity. This is where it takes us.
I completely agree. It absolutely does show some of the challenges with this. I mean, look, first of all, we must and should have enormous compassion and tolerance and understanding for those who are questioning their gender and identity and wanting to change, and we will always be supportive of that. Of course we will, and it's right to be compassionate about that. That's who we are as a people. But we have to recognise the challenges that poses, particularly for women's safety, as we've just been discussing. And that's why biological sex really matters in
I mean,
questions.
to me, it's immutable. That's what it is. It's biological sex. When you see what's happening in sport, where you see trans women athletes demolishing women, female athletes, what do you feel about that?
Yeah, well, I think that doesn't strike most people as being fair, right? So, and so that's why, when it comes to these questions, biological sex matters. Now that we can and will have compassion and tolerance and understanding for everybody who is thinking about transitioning and changing their identity and gender. But for me, when it comes to whether it's sex, whether it's women's spaces, whether it's prisons, biological sex really matters. And actually, we saw that recently with what's going on in Scotland, and that's why I took, again, you say, what else have you done in 100 days and what's bold? We took action that hasn't
I thought
been
you were
taken
completely
before,
right.
Because, the bill that was passed in Scotland, I think has real implications for how we think about these issues on a UK-wide basis and the interaction between these things.
I think on this you're completely right. I'm glad you've said what a woman is, because a lot of people will be thinking, why can't we say what it is anymore?
I mean, yes. And look, I'm married to one, I have 2 daughters, and it's really important that they grow up in a society where their needs are respected, whether it's how they want to be treated when they're in changing rooms or sports, but also their safety. And the other thing I've spoken about is women walking around in the evenings should and deserve to feel safe.
Yes.
And they should be and deserve to feel safe. And we haven't done a good enough job of that in the past, and we're working really hard to improve things, but it's something that I hope I can achieve as Prime Minister, that women do feel that, because that's what we all owe them.